everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel, and in today's video I'm doing my top 10 favourite K-pop albums of 2021. I'm very excited to do this video today, but before we get started, a quick disclaimer that all of the albums in this are just my own personal opinion. They're just ones that I personally enjoyed, are from groups that I either collect or just ones that I really enjoyed. If I didn't mention a group, it doesn't mean that I dislike that group or I didn't like their music this year. It's just based on my own personal opinion, so please keep that in mind. If you would like to, please leave a comment of your favourite 2021 comeback or debut. And without further ado, let's get started. So the first album we have today is Omega X's Vamos. This is probably my number 10 spot on my favourite albums of 2021. So this was their debut album and I absolutely loved this. This is what the packaging looks like, the spine and the back. So I really loved this album, like entirely. It was such a good album. So obviously Vamos is the title track, which was by far one of my favourite songs of 2021. It is so catchy and I really love it. And then I think my other favourite song is probably Ice Tag. I really like that one. But yeah, super catchy album. I love the packaging as well. The packaging is very pretty. It looks very pretty inside. And then you have like the photo book, which is huge. Like this photo book was massive. But I love this one. I love the pink concept. And then you also got a little folder full of the inclusions. Just everything about this album I really enjoyed. But yeah, the music was incredible. I really loved them. I can't wait for their comeback in January. I'm super excited to hear their new album. I also loved What's Going On, but yeah, I definitely think Vamos is my favourite of their releases so far, and I can't wait to see their new music in the future. I haven't really mentioned them much on this channel, but my bias is Hangyeom, for anyone that wanted to know. But yes, super pretty. So that is Omega X's Vamos. At number 9 I have Mirai's debut album Killer. So this was by far probably my favourite debut this year. Up until Extraordinary Heroes. I know they didn't have a physical release, but I truly love Happy Death Day by them. But yeah, Killer by Mirai was my favourite debut of the year, probably until then, and it still probably is on par with Extraordinary Heroes. Like, I absolutely love this comeback. Well, comeback debut. I love the comeback Splash too, but this one by far hit different. I absolutely love this album. So here is what it looks like. So my favourite song, I love the title track, but I think my favourite song is Swagger probably, or Higher. I really like them. We Are Future's really good. I've seen the live performance they did on one of the music shows. They performed We Are Future followed by Killer, and I've seen that performance like loads of times. But yeah, I love Mirai. They're very cool. Obviously if you got both versions, it did make like a little cube type thing, but I love this one because it's magnetic. Mine got quite damaged. I bought it from someone on Instagram that had some sealed copies left from their fan sign, like spares that they had, and I did buy it second hand, but it got a lot damaged on the way to me, but that's fine. I left the postcard in here. But it's super pretty. Again, they're not a group that I really speak about much on my channel. I don't have Splash. I didn't buy Splash because I honestly don't know if moving forward I will collect them. I obviously did love this debut album, which is why I own a copy of it. And I do love Splash, but I'm trying to slim my collection down to just my alts and fave groups, because I am slowly running out of storage space to keep all of these albums. But we shall see. Maybe if they release a third album at some point, I will see if I want to get Splash and continue collecting them. But yes, that's Mirai, and they were my number 9 spot for favourite album of the year. Next at number 8 we have Favourite. Let me zoom in a little bit. So next we have Favourite by NCT 127, and I absolutely love this. So this is obviously the repackaged album. I love NCT, as we all know, but this was by far one of my favourite 127 albums that they have released. I don't know if it's more than Neozone. I really love Neozone. That's one of my favourite NCT albums of all time, but I did really enjoy the repackage. So this is what the album looks like. So there's a lot of songs on here. I think my favourite is probably Lemonade or Breakfast. But obviously favourite is really good title track. And obviously Sticker was the title track on the previous album because this is a repackage. I like Rainy Night as well, that's such a cool song. But yeah, I love this album very much. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. And I don't love the packaging, but it is a very good album. It's very pretty. And the photo book is very pretty as well. There's my SM flyer. But yeah, I love everything about this album, and the concept was very cool. I very much enjoyed this album. It's not as high on my list as I would have liked it to have been, but it is one of their newer releases, and so I haven't had as much time to listen to it as I have some of the other albums on this list, but favourite just hits, you know. I really love it. Yes, very much enjoyed this album. At number 6, no, not number 6, at number 7 we have this one, which is Enhypen's Border Carnival. This is the down version. I absolutely love Enhypen. They're another group that I don't really talk about too much on my channel, but I have got one video where I unbox one of their albums. But I absolutely love this album. It was a toss-up between this and their newest album, Dimension Dilemma. I hope I said that right. I'm not going to say the version names because they're really difficult to pronounce. But yeah, it's a toss-up between the two. But I honestly love Enhypen. I'm so excited for their comeback. I think it's January their comeback. Super exciting. But yeah, I absolutely love this album. It's one of my favourite albums this year. I love all of the B-sides. My favourite song on this entire album is Fever. I absolutely love Fever. But yeah, super pretty photo book. It came with quite a lot of inclusions as well, which was very nice. I did not pull any J for this album. I have pretty good J look, but I didn't pull any for this album. But yeah, I think Not For Sale and Fever are probably my two favourite songs from this album. And of course, Drunk Dazed is absolutely amazing. I love that song so much. It's probably my favourite title track they have released to date. So I'm very I can't speak today. So I'm very excited to see what their new album has to offer, title track wise, but they always kill it with the B-sides. And they kill it with every song, to be fair. Hopefully my J look continues. I did pull him in Dimension Dilemma, so I'm hoping I pull him in the next album. I probably just jinxed myself now, but yeah, hoping the J look continues. Oops. Next at number 6 we have Red Velvet's Queendom. So this is the only girl group album that made my list. As you probably have gathered, I don't collect many girl groups or like female solo artists, but I absolutely love Red Velvet. I'm going to zoom in a bit more for this. I absolutely love Red Velvet. They are one of my favourite female groups in K-pop, and I absolutely love this album. Firstly, the packaging is incredible. I'm not too sure about the other versions. They were quite big and a little bit flimsy, but I absolutely love the girls version. Super pretty. It reminds me of like makeup, like a compact. I don't wear makeup, but the inside looks like a compact or like a toy because of like these little things that you hang on a shelf. The whole concept is super cute and it's very pink and pretty. It also just looks really nice and aesthetic next to their Rever Festival finale, which was one of my favourite albums from that year. But yeah, I absolutely love this album. It's super pretty. My favourite song, oh, there's no title tracks on the back. Title tracks, title list on the back. I think my favourite song is Hello Sunset. I think that's what it's called. I like Pushing and Pulling as well. But yeah, Queendom was such a good album. It was really nice to have a Red Velvet album after so long because obviously we didn't have one for ages. But the photo book is super pretty. My bias, for those who don't know, is Wendy. I didn't pull any of her cards. I did pull her postcard, but I didn't pull any of her like cards or anything from this album, but that's totally fine. It seems I don't fully like actively collect her or anything, and I don't intend to trade my Sulgi card for her. I'm just going to keep my pulls for this album because Red Velvet's a little hard to trade for, and this has been out for a while, but I really did love this album. It's very catchy and I'm really proud that the girls had a comeback. So that is my number 6. Next at number 5 we have Treasure, and as we know, Treasure is one of my alts. Unfortunately this year they only had one album, which was Treasure, the First Step Treasure Effect. This album is absolutely stunning. Firstly, the packaging is incredible. They all lined up to make this like universe kind of planety thing, which is super cute, and obviously it's a slipcover, which I really like. And then it came with a lot of cool inclusions, and it's magnetic as well, like it's magnetized. I did take the folder out because I pulled Yedam's. That was my most iconic pull of the year, was pulling Yedam's folder. The one thing I wasn't going to collect, and I pulled it, and he's been sat on my Treasure and Stray Kids shelf because they share a shelf. He's in my 2 top boy groups. He's been sat on my shelf next to my Bang Chan little photo book from their Skiz X merchandise. He's been sat there for the whole year since I pulled this. But yeah, it's got a lot of cool things. The photo book was really thick. I love this concept. As soon as they released the teasers for this concept, I knew that this would be the version I would buy, since I only buy one version. My favourite song by far has to be the fact that Going Crazy made the album. That is one of my favourite Treasure songs. Maybe it's better if I show you the back actually. Yeah, Going Crazy is probably my favourite because it did make the album. I also love My Treasure, that's such a catchy song. It is like a repackage essentially. They had a couple new songs and then the other songs were from their single albums. So it wasn't really too many new songs, but I still really enjoyed it and it did make my list. It is a shame that they haven't had a comeback since this because I honestly miss them so much, but I hope they have a comeback soon in 2021. I would love to collect some more Yedam album cards because obviously Treasure are an alt. But yeah, I hope we have some new music from them soon. But that was my number 5 spot. So we'll move on to number 4. At number 4 we have Thrilling by The Boys. And I haven't talked about The Boys on my channel before. But just so you know, they are one of my favourite groups. And they are a group that I am currently working on trying to complete my album collection for. It's a slow progress, but I'm quite happy with the small progress I have made. So this was by far one of my favourite albums of The Boys to date. Until Maverick came along. I think Maverick is probably my favourite The Boys album, but this one is truly iconic. I absolutely love this. So it obviously came out after they had been on Kingdom, which was great. I love that for them. I love the whole concept of this one. I'm not too fussed on the packaging. Why? It's very bright. It's a lot brighter than it looks on camera. But I like that it's a book packaging. I did not like that all my inclusions were in this little pouch. My postcard got a bit bent, but it is what it is. But like the actual concept of this, the beach kind of pool concept, is super pretty. I love this entire album. Like, I love all of the songs. I love Sunwoo's pink hair. I think my favourite song, is there a track list there? It's right at the bottom. Is probably Bet On You, or Boy, as it spells out. And I love Merry Bad Ending, I think, as well. Thrill Ride's obviously a really catchy title track. This is probably one of my favourite title tracks of the year as well. But yeah, I absolutely love The Boys. They always release music that just hits. It's always so catchy. This is definitely a fun concept. I do prefer their darker concepts, but I honestly do love their fun concepts as well. I remember when Giddy Up came out, when that album came out, and I absolutely loved it. It's like my favourite, probably still my favourite The Boys title track. But yeah, I love the concept and it's definitely been on repeat on my playlist. Like I say, Maverick is still fairly new out, and I probably would have included that in this video, but I still think Thrilling takes the win here, in my personal opinion. So that is my number 4 spot, and we will move on to the top 3. So at number 3 we have B2B for You's Outside album. I was obviously so happy that they finally had some sort of comeback, even though it wasn't a full group comeback, since the boys are in, well, since the boys at the time were military. But I absolutely love this album. It is so catchy and it's so pretty as well. This is the Awake version and it's just the most stunning photo book you have ever seen. I did do an unboxing of this, so I will leave a link to it. As we know, Unkwang is one of my alts, and so I was really happy that they finally had a comeback. I mean, just look at him, gorgeous. My favourite song on the album is probably Show and Prove or Waiting for You. I think the reason I love Show and Prove so much is because they did include it from Kingdom. That was their last song on the last round of Kingdom, and so it's very special, probably to most melodies. And then Waiting for You is probably my favourite B-side, just because it's so catchy and I love it, and Unkwang's vocals sound very good on it. I mean, all of the boys sound really good on it, but Unkwang's vocals hit in that song. Like, it just sounds really good. And obviously Outsider is so catchy. I'm so glad that a lot of people gave it some love and support like it deserved. So yeah, very happy to place this at number 3 because it is one of my favourite albums, and I will keep promoting B2B and showing them love because I think more people need to listen to them and go and support them because they do deserve it. So that is B2B. Let's move on to number 2. So my second album is No Easy by Stray Kids, and you're probably thinking, you put Stray Kids at number 2, who's going to be your number 1 spot? So Stray Kids made my number 2 spot for favourite album of the year, and I chose No Easy because I generally did prefer this release over Christmas Evil. I love Christmas Evil with my whole heart, but it came out so close to the end of the year that I just haven't listened to it as much as I have listened to No Easy. And also this one was just iconic because it was their first album after they won Kingdom, and it was also like the first release we'd had since In Life, and it's a full album. And so there's a lot of cool things that happened during No Easy, like we got so many wins and stuff, and I generally just love this album. I hate the packaging. I think I spoke about this in my unboxing, but this one's better. Like, this one is not as damaged, but my standard version got severely damaged. It was quite bent and that, and yeah, I didn't love this packaging, but I do love this album. My favourite song is probably I love Red Lights. I don't really want to choose a unit song, although I do love that song. I love Surfing as well. That's a really good song. It's hard to say because I listen to all the songs a lot. I mean, The View, actually. The View is probably the one I listen to the most, and maybe Domino as well. I love Wolfgang. I love that they did full group Wolfgang version because obviously they did perform that on Kingdom. It was their final song, but I just love this album so much. Yeah, and the photo book is absolutely stunning. Like, this was also probably my most iconic unboxing because I pulled a Chan card and a few other Chan bits, which, you know, I don't pull Chan very often, so it's always nice when I do. I mean, just look at him. He is so handsome. They're all so handsome. I love Stray Kids. They are one of my alts. And obviously I was really happy that they did have a full album this year. Like I say, I do love Christmas Evil, but it just came out so close to the end of the year that I just don't think I have listened to it as much as I have No Easy. And also I just feel like it's one of those albums you can only really listen to around the seasonal time because it just wouldn't be the same, whereas this one I can listen to all year round. So that was No Easy. And lastly, let's move to our number 1 spot. So number 1, it probably comes as no surprise that I did pick NCT Dream's Hello Future. If you saw when I unboxed this album in my very first YouTube video, I pretty much like expressed, probably through captions and stuff because I had no audio in that video, that I did really enjoy this album, and I probably expressed it when I put away my Chonla photo cards. As we all know, I love Chonla and I love the Dreamies. They are one of my favourite NCT units, but this album really hit like so hard. I absolutely loved Hot Sauce, and that was originally going to be the album that made it into this video, but obviously they had a repackage, and I absolutely love this album. My Spotify Wrapped this year, my most played song was Dive Into You, so that pretty much explains how much I've listened to this album. I cannot tell you guys how much this CD has been played. Like, I absolutely love this album. The whole concept is stunning. I love the sparkly stars on the photo book. I love that it's very scrapbooky. Just in general, like, this whole concept and all of the songs, the B-sides, the title tracks are just incredible. I obviously do love this album very much. It definitely has my favourite Chandler cards in it as well. I mean, just look at him, he's so cute. But yeah, it definitely has some of my favourite songs on this entire album. Like I say, I'm not a huge fan of the packaging wise. Like, it is a little big and it can be a little like flimsy. You can see the staples, but in general I do love this actual whole concept. My favourite song on this album, and I think I said this in my unboxing, I love obviously Dive Into You. That was my most played song of the year. Life Is Still Going On has become one of my most played and watched YouTube videos probably. I love Hello Future. I love Hot Sauce, that's really catchy. I think one of my favourite ones at the moment is probably Countdown 3, 2, 1 or Irreplaceable. I've listened to quite a lot as well. But yeah, I honestly love this album. I've listened to it so many times and there was nothing else that I could really say. When I was thinking about filming this video, I just knew that this was going to be my number one in this video because I genuinely did love this album and I've listened to it the most out of all my K-pop albums this year. This is the one I've picked up the most and put in my CD player to listen to. It's the one I've listened to the most on YouTube or on Spotify and streamed and stuff. So yeah, definitely had to include this one as my number one. But lastly, I wanted to do a few honourable mentions because there were some albums that I didn't include in this video that I wanted to give a little shout out to as ones that I really enjoyed this year. So the first one I wanted to mention was Christmas Evil, and I kind of explained this when I was when I was expressing my choice for picking No Easy. I love Christmas Evil. I love the concept. It's very cute. And I think I expressed that a lot in my unboxing. I generally do love the album. My favourite song was Winter Falls. By far my favourite song that they've like released recently was probably Winter Falls. It's very cute and I love the video. It did make me cry a little bit when I first saw it. So I do love Christmas Evil. I did want to give that one a shout out. I also wanted to give Maverick a shout out by The Boys, which obviously I mentioned briefly when I showed my Thrilling album. I did love that album. Maverick is probably one of my favourite, or in my top 3 favourite title tracks from The Boys. I really did love that album. I also wanted to give a shout out to NCT 2021's Universe. I really love that album. I haven't received my copy of it yet, but I truly did enjoy that album. It was really nice to see almost all of the boys back together again and performing. I do love an NCT U comeback, so very happy with that one. I wanted to give a shout out to Stacey's ASAP album. I really love Stacey. I don't collect them, but I really did enjoy ASAP. It's probably one of my favourite girl group songs of the year, aside from Red Velvet's Queendom album. I also wanted to give a shout out to Savage by aespa. I always feel like I say the name wrong, so I do apologise. I really did enjoy that album as well, and I really like them. I'm definitely looking forward to what they release next. And my last shout out goes to Love or Take by Pentagon. Probably the best album packaging of 2021. That whole like manga concept is very pretty. I don't own a copy of that because I don't collect Pentagon, but it is one of my favourites and it did deserve a shout out for this video. So let me put everything back into frame and we will film a final outro. So that was it for my video. If you did like this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would love to hear what your favourite comeback or debut was of 2021. So please feel free to leave me a comment of your favourite group, comeback, debut, whatever it is. I would love to hear all about it and I will try to respond to as many as possible. This is also going to be my last video until the new year, so happy start to your new year everyone. I hope everyone has a lovely 2022. I hope to see some amazing comebacks in January. I can't wait. Hopefully there'll be some more unboxings and things coming your way very soon. But yeah, that's it for this video, so until next time, bye!